So you're in a boardroom. The air smells faintly of coffee and polished wood. Sunlight glances off the edge of the table, catching the silver rim of your laptop. Around you, colleagues shuffle papers. They nod politely and sip their drinks. The CEO leans forward. I think we should launch the new expansion next quarter. A flicker of tension hits your chest. Something about this doesn't sit right. You've analysed the data, run the projections, and your intuition screams caution. And yet you say nothing. Because speaking up feels risky. Because everyone else seems confident. Because silence is easier than confrontation. You look around and the marketing head nods. The finance VP smiles. Even the quiet intern is fidgeting, not raising objections, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, you nod too. The meeting ends and handshakes are exchanged, plans are drafted, budgets assigned, timelines set. And here's the irony. Not a single person in that room actually wanted this decision. This is the Abilene Paradox, a phenomenon as invisible as it is powerful. A group moves in a direction that none of its members truly desire, because everyone assumes everyone else wants it. Think about your own life. How often have you agreed to something you didn't want, assuming it was what others wanted? A meeting, a project, a social event. How often did everyone nod, smile and agree, even though it left everyone quietly unhappy? It's like sailing a ship into a storm because everyone thinks the captain wants to go there, when in reality the captain is only acting based on assumptions about the crew. Everyone ends up wet, seasick and exhausted. And when this happens repeatedly, over months, over years, it becomes a culture of silence, a slow erosion of creativity, trust and genuine decision making. So what's really happening here? The Abilene Paradox, coined by management expert Jerry B. Harvey in 1974, is deceptively simple. A group collectively agrees to a decision that nobody actually wants, because each individual mistakenly believes it's what the others want. It thrives on three forces. Assumptions. You assume others know best, and you assume disagreement is dangerous. Fear of conflict. Speaking up risks disapproval, ridicule and ostracization. Desire to please. Humans are social creatures. We want harmony even if it's false. Think of it like a mirror maze. Everyone is looking at the reflections of others, not the reality in front of them. Everyone is convinced they're the only one hesitant, and so everyone nods silently. And the paradox continues, growing stronger with each nod. Over time, the Abilene Paradox can have serious consequences. A culture of conformity where innovation is stifled. An erosion of trust, because people sense the truth but feel powerless to act. And inefficient decisions, wasting time, money and energy on projects no one actually supports. Imagine an entire company moving like a river in the wrong direction, not because anyone wants it, but because no one speaks the truth. So let's pause for a moment. Imagine your last big meeting. Were you truly aligned with every decision made, or did you quietly nod along? What if in that meeting everyone paused for a single minute and asked, does anyone actually really want this? Would the outcome have changed? Now imagine this scenario repeated over months. Each time a decision is made, no one speaks up. How would your organisation look a year from now? 5 years? What opportunities would have been lost? What mistakes compounded? Here's another thought experiment. Picture a boardroom where silence is contagious and nods are invisible chains. Every time someone agrees against their own judgment, the chain grows stronger. How long until the room moves entirely in a direction that no one actually wants? The Abilene Paradox doesn't only happen in corporate meetings though, it shows up everywhere. In your social life, your friendships, even your family. Here are some examples. Number 1 is choosing a restaurant. Everyone says sure, let's go wherever, but secretly no one wants sushi. You end up at a place nobody enjoys. What about ordering one more round of drinks? Someone suggests another drink. Everyone hesitates, but no one wants to say no. You'll all regret it in the morning. What about group travel plans? Deciding to drive several hours for a hike that everyone wants, but most would have preferred to stay home. What about watching a movie? Group decides on a blockbuster. Half secretly wanted a comedy. Everyone pretends to enjoy it. What about family outings? Going to a theme park because that's what everyone wants, even though one parent is exhausted and the kids would have preferred to go out with their friends. What about work lunch choices? A colleague suggests a new cafe. Everyone agrees silently, but half the team wanted to stay in the office and eat their sandwiches. What about fitness classes? Saying yes to a morning spin session with friends, despite dreading the early alarm and knowing that you had things to do before work. What about buying a gift for someone else? Everyone agrees on an expensive item, assuming it's what the group wants, when some would prefer a simpler, more thoughtful option. What about social gatherings? Saying yes to an event you don't want to attend because you think everyone else is excited about it and excited you'll attend too. What about team volunteering? Joining a charity event no one really wanted to participate in, but everyone agreed to avoid disappointing the organiser. Do you notice the pattern? It's not about bad intentions, it's about assumption and silence. People agree not because they want to, but because they think everyone else does. And the result? Mild frustration, resentment, or worse, repeated patterns of decisions no one is happy with. The Abilene Paradox isn't a one-time mistake. When it repeats, it becomes habit, reinforcing the idea that disagreement is dangerous. Leaders misinterpret silence as agreement, making bad decisions feel validated. Teams lose touch with reality, relying on assumptions rather than feedback. It's like a forest slowly overtaken by shadows, small, silent, unnoticed, but eventually the entire ecosystem is affected. So how do you prevent it? How do you break the cycle? Well, first of all, we need to encourage open dissent. Ask explicitly who genuinely disagrees. And then we should check assumptions. Don't assume silence means consent. Use anonymous input. Surveys or feedback tools help reveal hidden truths. And then reflect regularly. After decisions, ask, did everyone truly want this? And then normalise disagreement. Make it safe to challenge ideas without fear. And what are the benefits? Well, they're enormous. You get better, more informed decisions, a culture of trust and transparency. Individuals feel heard, empowered, and invested into. Imagine that same boardroom. The CEO proposes a risky expansion. This time you speak up, and others follow. The decision may change, or it may not, but it's now rooted in reality, not assumptions. The ship sails on a course everyone actually believes in. So next time you're in a meeting or deciding on dinner with friends, pause. Listen to yourself. Listen to others. Ask the hard questions. Do we actually want this? Because the Abilene Paradox isn't just about one bad decision. It's about how silence, assumptions and fear can steer entire organisations and even lives in directions no one truly desires. So speak, question, challenge, align, and remember, a nod may feel safe, but courage creates clarity.